instant message, right? Or on IM. So some people don't care, but a lot of people do. If that's something you don't want, then you put that in an onboarding thing and you let folks know what they can expect from you and what not. Hi, Jody. It's been a long time. How are you? So really setting those clear boundaries. I used to, when I was back in my recovering wedding planning world, well, when I was in it, now I'm recovering. I used to have a kindness clause in my contract. Essentially, it was called a mutual respect clause. It said, I'm going to treat you with kindness and respect, and you have to treat me with kindness and respect. And if anybody doesn't do that, then we're going to talk about it like grown-ups and decide, can we move forward or do we need to dissolve the agreement? Because I had one too many wedding clients treat me like shit and expect me to be at their beck and call. Well, that didn't work. So I wanted to get my way. And my way was by telling them, this is what you're going to sign. And this is what you can expect from me. And this is what I can expect from you. Um, these are where clarity equals kindness, right? If you can be very clear about what you want and why you want it, you can communicate it clearly, you can ask for what you want, you can set boundaries around it. If you do that and you're very clear, clarity equals kindness. Why does it equal kindness? Well, it equals kindness because then there's the guessing game is gone. People don't have to try and guess what you want from them or what you expect from them or what you're offering to them. They just know. And that is a very kind thing to do for people, to take out that guesswork. And so it doesn't sound controlling. I know all of those limiting voices. It sounds controlling. It sounds like we're telling people what to do. It's not. It's just you being very clear, and they can then make an adult decision. Do they want to accept that or do they not want to accept that? So let me share with you the story of my beautiful, darling 12-year-old who is, I love it. Whenever she's home sick or summer, she joins in for my live show and it makes me feel very special. Thanks, Tessa. Um, yeah, Melinda, right? Clarity equals kindness. It really does. Sit with that. You guys use that a lot. So Tessa is 12. She's about to turn 13 and she wants her own dog. Now, let me just give you a little background on the animal situation between my house and their other parents' house. Collectively, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs. Is that right? We've got Beanie, Sasha, Chandler, and Roy. Yeah, 4 dogs. Oh, yeah, no, 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a fish. One of the dogs lives with me full time. The fish lives with me full time, although I don't know how much longer we're going to have the fish. And then my daughter Eve's dog goes back and forth with her. So Tessa wants her own dog. And I don't like dogs. Can we talk about that? I don't like dogs. I'm not a dog person. And yes, I now have my own dog. I can't explain that. Some sort of gut intuition thing, some sort of splenic intuition said to me, you need this dog in your life. And there are times where I'm thrilled that I have this dog. And there are times where I'm like, why did I make this decision? I just want to sit here and not be bothered. And I don't want to have to feed you or walk you or do any of those other things. Nonetheless, we have the dog. I love the dog. Don't get me wrong. I love the dog. Okay. Um, so her older sister was 14 when she got her dog. Emotional support, love animal, right? Dog goes back and forth wherever she is, the dog is. And so Tessa wants her own dog. And she came to me a couple weeks ago and said, I want to make a case. I want to make a case. And she throws it out there. And I'm resistant, as you might imagine, to have another dog. That would mean that there would be 3 dogs in our small house at one time. And mess and pet and smell and all of that. But Tessa's a very responsible young woman. She is probably the most responsible of all of my children. And I think they would all agree with that, right, Tessa? That you are an incredibly responsible. She cleans up after herself. She does what she says she's going to do. She's got a little sass in her, but she is a very responsible young woman. And so I said, look, I don't know. Maybe when Eve is gone, she's graduated and Chandler is gone, we can talk about it. And I still feel that way, but I came home from my trip to Mexico last night and she's home not feeling well. So her other parent brings her over and she's doing some stuff and I'm doing some stuff. And she says, Mama, I want to show you something. And I said, okay, what do you want to show me? And she's like, just bear with me. And I said, okay. So she has put together an entire presentation with a list of categories on why she should get a dog. So first, She wanted a golden retriever and they shed a lot, and I don't want a shedding dog. So then she's done her research on what kinds of dogs are the size she wants. She wants a somewhat bigger dog, not huge, but bigger, but that doesn't shed. Okay. So she goes through all of the breeds of dogs that could be fit both of our needs, right? She's considered both of our needs and expectations. Then she talks about the caring and cleaning of the dog and what she would do and what her responsibility is. And now I can't remember the third one. Tessa, you're watching. What was the third one? Um, I know, right, Melinda? This kid, she's got a whole presentation. She's done all of the research on it. And it's such a well thought out case. And I laughed. I was like, well, can I use this as an example today when I when I do my live show about getting what you want? Because, we don't always have the opportunity or the availability to make our case that way. Oh, why she would be a good dog mom. That's the third one, which quite frankly was the easiest part to convince me on because I know she would be an incredible dog mom. There's no doubt about that. Um, Doing your research to let people know why something is important to you and how you can work to make things mutually beneficial and presenting your case is a really powerful way to get what you want. Also, within that presentation, she asked for what she want. She set boundaries. What can I expect from her? What would she expect from me? I had follow-up questions. Have we thought about the expense? Have we thought about um, who will care for them when you're not around? Have we thought about uh, you know, maybe waiting. Your sister was 14, you're not even 13 yet. Like, so we've encountered and I gave her some other things to think about and some other things to look into. But I said, it's not a no because you've done such a good job and I'm so impressed. And so let's continue the conversation, right? So maybe we don't get what we want immediately, but we lay that groundwork and that foundation for getting what we want in most cases. So I would love to know what you want. What are you out there wanting that you're not getting? And I'd love for you to either comment here on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Or DM me in all the places. Send me an email, heather@vickeryandco.com, and let me know, what do you want that you're not currently getting that maybe if you tried any of those three things, you would have some traction on. And let's see if we can get you getting more of your way more of the time. Doesn't that sound exciting? I love that idea. A couple quick things before we go. Don't leave me yet. You'll see, let's see if I can do this. I have this awesome shirt on. It says, be kind. See, clarity is kindness. Be kind. Lots of ways to be kind. We are back with the Brave Files podcast. Last week, I dropped our first new episode since we've come back from summer break, and it is with Caitlin Johnston from Kind Cotton. That's where this shirt came from. I love their clothes. They're amazing. Socially conscious clothing company Caitlin was a teacher and she wanted to find a way to raise money to donate books to kids who don't have access to books. And she and her partner decided to do that via a clothing company that made big statements, that was sustainable, and that made a difference in the world. And the interview is so good. It's literally called Don't Confuse Kindness with Niceness. You are going to want to check it out. It's heartwarming and beautiful. And it packs a punch. It's really poignant. So anywhere you listen to podcasts, go and listen to my interview with Caitlin. It's just so, so good. And I'm so excited to be back. So make sure you're subscribing to the Brave Files podcast so that you don't miss anything. We have moved to an every other week platform. So you'll get every other week a Brave Files podcast, and all of those on the weeks. Other than that, you're going to get a Was It Chance podcast. So that's a little more manageable for me and maybe for you as well. So before we go, I am going to shuffle and draw a Create Brave card for you. Did you guys see me pull this out? My box, the Create Brave cards are a deck of manifestation cards that I created with my wonderful friend, Rachel Swanson. She is the creativity coach and I'm the Brave Method coach. And we combined our skills and talents to make these beautiful cards. They're like affirmation cards, manifestation cards. They're thick and gorgeous. They have shiny edges, beautiful, magnetic box. And I like to pull one at the end of each of our live shows to see what's here for me and what's here for you. And the right card always pops out, and it fell this time. I think it did that last week too. Oh boy, that packs a punch, doesn't it? The card is Unravel. I choose to take things apart to create something better. I have to tell you, Just this past week at the conference I was at, the E3 conference, we talked a lot about that. Getting rid of something good to welcome in something great and taking what we want from it. Unraveling. I love this card deeply and passionately. Unravel. I'll read you what it says. I choose to take things apart that no longer serve me. Thoughtfully and intentionally unraveling one thing to build another may be necessary. You may choose to unravel because something isn't working, or perhaps you simply desire something even better than what you currently have. Sometimes we must take things apart that are working okay to make room for what will be great. Open up space for the new and improved, and when we force ourselves to stay with something that no longer serves us, we cause significant harm and prevent new growth. Frequent reassessment will show you what you need to be unraveled in order to reach your goals. Reassessment, remember, is part of the 3 R's in the BRAVE method: reassess, reframe, resilience. When your actions are guided by a sense of knowing, intuition, and service, then you'll be more likely to stay focused in the moment and not worry about the future. Staying tethered to a future outcome creates a barrier to the present. You have the power to release all thought of energy that does not keep you in joy and gratitude. Do your best and then surrender. What is meant for you will not pass you by. How beautiful is that? So here's a Create Brave prompt. What results or decisions are you anxiously awaiting? How would you feel if you untethered from a specific result and trusted the process? Write out a list of items that you want to release and then read it out loud. And as you read the list, allow yourself to physically or mentally take a step backward from that item. I just read you guys untether. No, I read both. So what happens? I was like, that's not the right prompt. The prompt is this. Imagine that you are weaving a beautiful tapestry, something you may need to unravel several lines in order to start fresh or catch a lost stitch. Visualize yourself undoing the work that needs to be undone. Now imagine that the tapestry will look like when you're finished. Sorry for that. Forgive me. I don't know. I guess it's what happens when you travel overseas, but I love that. And I love the card. If you're interested in a set of Create Brave cards, you can get them on my website. Go to vickeryandco.com/social to find them. They are beautiful and amazing, and I will ship them to you personally with a little note and maybe even a little gift. Isn't that one so good, Melinda? Unravel. Think about knitting. Sometimes you have to take stitches out in order to get things back to where you want them to be. And it may look different. The tapestry may look different. So I love that. I love all of you. I am super excited to be back and ready to go. I'm going to sit with Unravel because I'm launching. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm launching a brand new program. I'm going to just give you some hints. We're opening the wait list next week called the Brave Entrepreneur Incubator. It's a 16-week course guided by me, hands-on, small session. So good, so good, so good. All the details are coming out next week. We're going to open the wait list. Stay ready. Make sure you're signed up for my newsletter so you can get it. And last but not least, and this is always like, I have to really work up my own bravery and courage to tell you guys this, but people kept telling me I should do it. And so now I'm leaning into that from my rule of 3. When you hear from people 3 times or something comes up 3 times, you take action on it. So many of you are moved and touched by the work that I give you each week, whether it's through my podcast, through the live show, through the newsletters. Something shifts in you and they've asked a way that they can say thank you or tip. So I have set up a buy me a coffee link. You can visit vickeryandco.com/say thanks, and any amount that you're comfortable with. Essentially, it says buy me a coffee. It's just like a little tip. It means that you've been moved or touched and you really want to show your appreciation for that free content that I'm putting out. I do have a link for it in the newsletter, and we have a link for it in the podcast as well. If you're so moved, that would be awesome. If you do decide to buy me a coffee, you're going to get a little extra love, either in the live show, the newsletter, or the podcast. So make sure you're tuned into all those places so that I can sing your praises. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's such an honor and a privilege to share this time and space with you every single week. For now, this is Heather Vickery reminding you today and every single day to go out and choose bravely. Bye, everybody.